Good whatever time of the day it is you happen to be listening. This is the P&A Podcast Express coming to you live, sort of, from the Silver Tavern in Deckerville, the old STD.
The Silver Tavern, Deckerville.
I am Adam Filkins. With me, as always, is Phil Nickel. We have our special guest, superfan historian extraordinaire, top 10 list maker.
Yes.
Steve Cook is with us tonight. Cookie, how you doing?
Cookie in the house.
I am doing great, guys. You?
Wonderful. It couldn't be a better day, I don't think.
I had to work a day shift at the old STD today. Let me tell you, I feel a little grimy right now.
Well, it's probably no different, is it?
No. Usually by about this time I feel pretty grimy, so it's no big deal. The morning shower has worn off.
Yeah. That's what the PBR is for.
That's what the PBR is for, to de-grime myself.
Yes. Alcohol removes all grime.
Yeah. That's what I was told.
For the most part, that's true.
I'm still ugly on the inside, though, Adam.
That is true. Nobody debating that.
That's Aaron Lewis.
There you go.
So
that's my Aaron Lewis impression. Thank you, Cookie.
Yeah.
This is episode 6853 of 782. Alpha Romero.
Oh,
X-ray.
Romero.
Yeah, like the car.
Oh, I thought you were talking like the zombie movies.
No.
Oh.
Like the car.
I like zombie movies.
We can go zombie movies.
Do you ever think
like the zombie
Do you
movies.
ever think the zombie apocalypse is going to happen?
Yes, I think it is upon us
Isn't
right
that
now.
beautiful? Like, Jimmy Hacker, if you're listening, we appreciate that you tie their shoelaces together before you bury them in case that does ever happen.
Yes. That he super glues their chompers shut.
Yes. So
good luck getting through that.
That's what they call a double mechanical advantage in engineering.
Yes.
Not to toss out technical terms on everybody, but...
Jeez. One day at the Silver Tavern, you got to go right back to engineering. Jeez, oh,
So, what else is new? You've got some gear grinds. What's grinding your gears? We haven't done My Friend is a Dick and Here's Why in a couple episodes. That was pointed out to me over the weekend, which thanks Matt Smith for sitting down and talking to me about the podcast for an hour and telling me lots of great feedback. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Matt's a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
We enjoy having Matt as a listener.
He's ready to be on the show again, too, but he said he's going to have some liquid courage in order to talk. Because remember, last time Matt was on, I think you couldn't get a word in edgewise with that guy when he sat down.
Well,
no,
I believe he was confused between Israel and Egypt.
That was Matt Lindley last week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got to have our math straight.
Apparently we have a heavy following of Matts on this show.
Yes.
That's okay. We're just happy people listen. It's called the West End. No, it's called the old STD, Silver Tavern, Deckerville. Yes, affectionately known by the locals as the West End. Once upon a time back in the day, this was the seedy part of town.
Yes.
So the West End was shady because it's on this side of the railroad tracks.
Yep.
And
I remember that.
Yeah, now that's the trailer park. It's a little methy there. Watch out. A little methy in the trailer park.
We are in the thumb. It's a little methy everywhere.
Yeah, a little methy.
But, wait, is that Mike Tyson for messy?
No.
Okay, true methy.
That's true methy, yeah. That's not a Mike Tyson impression there.
So I just came back off of vacation.
Tell us more.
I have lots of everybody's a dick and here's why.
Everyone's a dick and here's why. Wow, I love generalizations. You know that about me. So that's what caused the Holocaust.
Great vacation, great time with the family. And so we one of our highlight of our trip, right, was going to go to the insane asylum.
I saw your gripes online. I'm not going to usurp you here, but that's amazing. Go on.
So absolutely badass place, right?
Yeah.
And looked up lots of stuff on the history of it beforehand. And within the first 5 minutes, the tour guide was pissing me off because he literally, all of the facts that I learned about it, he's literally sitting there just taking a whiz all over them.
Just pissing all over history.
They didn't have straitjackets here. It's like, the hell they didn't. There's a picture on the wall down the hallway of somebody in a goddamn straitjacket, you
So
jackass.
that picture never happened, huh?
Yeah, fake news.
Yeah, it's the Holocaust denier.
It was photoshopped.
Yeah, it was photoshopped. This picture is from 1922. Notice it's photoshopped.
Yes. So then immediately after that, he talks about how they never did any kind of surgeries on anybody there, and then immediately goes into showing us a picture of the surgical suite there where they did lobotomies.
I was going to say maybe he got lobotomized.
I think he may have been a resident at one point.
You said he did nothing but tell stories about himself.
Yeah. So we walk into this.
That's what you want a tour guide to do, right?
Yeah.
So the first time I came here, I felt I felt things, and it really stuck with me. And I just want to tell you guys a little bit more about my experience.
I think if he'd have
You're like,
continued on,
"Fuck
he'd have been
you."
like, I felt myself a lot in here.
That's right.
So then the next thing he tells us...
It was a fondling experience.
Yes. Then the next thing he tells us is...
You're fine. Burps are allowed on this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Been a lot worse.
There's been a lot less burps since Adam and I use real mics instead of the headsets, which we first started out, because you can't dodge burps with those mics.
No,
'cause
you
they're
turn
like
your
right
head.
up in your Cabiza. They're right there.
You turn your head and cough, you're still coughing
That's
into
right.
the microphone. But then the next thing he goes on to tell us is that there weren't any deaths here, but there's probably a lot of people buried on the property in unmarked graves.
Boy.
And so his facts are really bad. But yeah, he walks us into this great big huge grand like cathedral place where they used to have, like ballroom where they used to have dances and stuff. And I'm sure there's lots of great history about it. But he had to tell us how he was the one that painted it. I've been painting for decades.
He painted the ballroom.
Yes.
By the way, that's very important when I'm buying trousers, is ballroom.
Yes. Have you seen the new underwear that are ball-tastic?
With the little hammock for your nuts.
Yeah.
Why not?
Duluth Trading.
I'm already wearing a banana hammock every once in a while. I might as well have a hammock for other things.
Yeah, didn't need to know that either. I don't know. Cookie looks intrigued. Tell us more.
Tell us more. So anyway, tell us about did you Yelp review this tour guide, or were you able to?
No, but so within he starts out, and I'll give you the 50,000-foot overview of the tour. He starts out, we're in the hallway where the gift shop and stuff is, and there's pictures in there.
Was he selling his paintings?
No. So one of the things that he did was sit there and read to us the description on the wall next to the paintings, or next to the pictures, which we all kind of did, waiting for the tour to start.
So let me get this straight. This guy is reading you literally what's beside the picture that you already read yourself while you were waiting for the tour to commence.
Bingo. Yes. So then he proceeds to take us outside to show us the front of the building, which was...
What you saw when you walked into the building.
Well, that was kind of my thought towards the end of it. And we spent like 25 minutes outside in the sun. It was hot, probably close to 80 degrees and just humid and just no shade to stand in as he drones on about how the people that... Exactly. This was one of the best arboretums in the state. Yeah,
Great term, arboretum, by the way.
Yeah, I really don't want to sit here and talk about trees.
I want to talk about trees.
I want
More tree talk.
No, less tree talk, more
Okay.
about the nuts.
Arbor Day.
We're at an insane asylum.
I celebrate
for God's
Arbor
sakes.
Day every year, by the way.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Usually with a fire.
Usually I do something crazy. Yeah. But anyway, so tell me more about this doofus that's leading your tour.
So then he takes us in after talking to us about the trees in the yard and how now there's a guy that's trying to recreate all the trees that died with new trees, and they had to clone some of them because they're not easy to get and this and that. Don't care. Take me back in and tell me about the crazies.
You're there to hear about the crazies and the gore and the shit that happened.
Right.
And jamming screwdrivers up people's noses and shit. Yeah.
So he takes us in, and as he's taking us in, and we go, and he takes us to where the cafeteria was that the kitchen where they cooked everything, but we couldn't go inside because that's a restaurant now. So he just told us about the things inside.
Did he do a good job painting pictures with his words?
No.
Oh, so it wasn't.
Now, don't get me wrong. He was a great speaker. He was animated. He was all this and that, but not a good tour guide. Way too much stuff about himself. So after he tells us about,
you feel like you knew the man personally after the tour.
Yeah.
Like you knew when his cable bill's due and that his cat died 6 months ago.
Yeah, and I didn't like him.
Yeah.
So then,
and I didn't like the cat.
Then he takes us upstairs to this cathedral. Now, keep in mind, we left at an hour and 15 minutes in. We've seen...
The cat was always afraid of the vacuum cleaner.
Perfect.
My mom, she doesn't like the cat.
Meow, 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 meow.
The cat rides the vacuum cleaner, and she's like, "You're going to burn the motor out, cat."
Anyway, tell us more. Sorry, I'm sidetracked Phil today, if you haven't noticed. My ADHD's in 100%.
Today. He says today he's sidetracked.
It's every day, isn't it?
It is. That's why our podcast is the P&A Sidetrack Express.
Yes. New feature coming in August. P&A Sidetracked Express.
Nice. Past tense?
Yes, past.
Fantastic.
Everything you talk about is always in the past.
Yes. So then he takes us to this one room, talks for 20 minutes about how he painted it, and
So
the
he
trials and
physically
tribulations.
painted the room?
Yeah, he was like the contractor
Like it's
they hired
his
to paint
Sistine
it.
Chapel or some his own Sistine Chapel or
Yeah,
some shit?
he's like, you could throw away. I told him you could throw away all your blue painter's tape because I can do a straight line.
I can cut an edge like a motherfucker.
And I was like, holy shit, he can do straight lines.
He doesn't
So-
sound straight.
Wow.
That's a pretty wide stroke of the brush there, Phil. Pun intended.
Oh.
You see what I did there?
Y'all have your month, you have your day, you have your parades.
So I'm thinking, all right, now we're going to get into the cool parts of the
Now
thing.
we're getting into the shit.
So as he's leading us out, he's like, I save all the stuff that you probably want to see until the very end so that you stay for the whole thing.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And he takes us outside again in the middle of the yard. The
To
outside,
talk about trees more?
I can look at, no.
To
this
talk about
time-
the Kentucky bluegrass?
This time he talked about the architecture of the building and how yeah.
Boring.
Big time.
So then he's like, okay, I'm going to take you over to this building that they're currently renovating into apartments. It's like, why? I don't want to see where people are going to live later. I don't give a shit. I want to see where the crazies were. So at that point, Mary's like, yeah, I'm kind of over this. And I'm like, I could not agree more. And the kids were like, get us the hell out of here. So we just kind of drove around and looked at everything, which was way more interesting.
I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
And that took an hour and 13 minutes of
How
the
much did you
2-hour
pay
tour.
for this piece of shit?
$137.50 total for the
Sounds like
tickets.
they owe you at least $120 back.
Wow.
They probably owe me $165 back.
You want to be paid for your time.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care about
Those are precious minutes of your life you'll never have back.
right. But we do have a memory of the guy that painted the one room we looked at.
It sounds like he was looking for a paint job.
He's auditioning for a job.
Yeah,
He's like, hire me, please.
He's looking for
he's
work.
He's like, actually, this isn't the official tour. I just take your money. There's no official tour to this bullshit.
his name tag did look like it could have been.
Was it in crayon?
No, it was in paint.
Oh, of course it was. It was the same color of that room he just painted.
I had left over.
I decided I wanted to repurpose it.
Could have went right up. Oh, you fucked that one up bad there,
That's
buddy.
right. What? You call that a straight line?
I see-
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Do I see fade?
That's right.
Fuck.
You didn't use Sherwin-Williams.
Them are fish eyes, man.
Tell me your
What the
thought.
fuck?
Tell me your thought process as you painted that squiggly line up there, my friend.
Now, it was a cool room, and he did tell us about how, like, it used to be drop tile ceiling in there, and, like, when they took that out, they discovered, like, these gigantic beams in the ceiling, and it was a really cool room, but we spent way too much time in there. But it was, because it was also now a room that, like, has Bose speakers, and, it's like, this has been, and a big projection screen, and all that kind of shit.
This sounds like the lamest ass tour ever, man.
Yeah.
I've talked to other friends who went on tours. Like, I literally just talked to a friend before I came here, and he's like, oh, yeah, I went on that, like, 5 years ago, and they showed us the surgical suite where they did lobotomies and all this other stuff. And I'm like, damn it! We had the wrong tour guide.
Perhaps, maybe this guy was a ghost.
So one of the people that lived there, because a lot of this is residential now, one of the people that walked through and said, don't listen to him. He was a resident here. And at first I'm like, ha, 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 that was funny. And at the end I'm like, makes a lot of
that's a
fucking
solid
sense.
joke. So what he didn't tell you is he painted that room while he was actually, in the
Yeah.
asylum.
But he just told us how great of a place it was, for people, that they never hurt anybody there. They never did anything. They treated them so well. Nobody wanted to leave because it was the best they were ever going to get treated in their life. And it's like, yeah, shock therapy tells me
You are fake news.
something different.
I think we need some sanitarium.
Yeah,
Metallica.
probably. We probably do. In fact, that would have been great lead-in music. Thanks for your terrible timing.
Yeah, sorry.
That's why you're the professional, Adam.
Well, they, like I say, there was a lot of things that
Nice.
there was a lot of things that he talked about that were not necessarily true in any sense of the word. And like telling us that they never put people in straitjackets. When I literally looked at the picture of people in straitjackets before.
It's on the front of the brochure for the tour.
They had rooms for electroshock therapy, and in fact, Thomas Edison oversaw all of the electrical there, so that it was done right. Because he was an expert in shocking the shit out of people's brains, I guess.
Yeah.
And elephants.
Yes.
Topsy.
So
he killed an elephant.
But they didn't do that.
He fried an elephant.
Nice.
That's beautiful. Topsy. Topsy, the circus elephant that trampled, I think, 3 people. So Topsy was sentenced to death, and old Thomas Edison stepped up and said, you know what, I'm never going to be ever as good as Tesla. I might as well fry this elephant for them, so he did. To demonstrate the dangers of electricity.
Was he in the Green Mile?
Edison probably did the wiring for that place.
He was probably that dick that killed the one guy that liked the mouse.
Oh, Mr. Jingles?
Yeah.
It's so funny because we look at these historical inventors and people in the past with these rose-colored glasses, but Thomas Edison was a fucking asshole.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes.
I mean, so I've told you about that. Do you want my next dick story?
How many times can I interrupt?
Bust it out.
Because that last story went a little too long.
Yeah, I'll be quicker on this one. Less details.
See, I'm being a dick right now. My friend's a dick, and here's why. I'm telling a story, and he's like, that story was way too long, man.
That pissed him off, man.
So next time you tell that story, take out all of those words and replace them with other ones.
Okay. Well, we're like 17 minutes
sorry.
in.
I'm not trying to be a dick.
I think I had 37 seconds of actually telling
the
story.
I had a rough day.
I felt like the Discovery Channel. I had to recap every time you interrupted. You notice how they do that?
That's what made the story long. Yeah. So the Discovery Channel, they'll go to ads and play the commercials, and they'll come back and they'll play 4 minutes of content you've already seen, and then an additional 30 seconds.
And 2 of those minutes are stock footage of alligators or snakes.
Shark Week. Episode 2. Drink.
Actually, it is.
Yes. I know. My subconscious knew that. Dude. It's Shark Week, bitches.
Well, hold on. Shark Week has turned into Truck Month.
That long.
It's that long.
I know. It goes forever.
Shark Week is now 6 weeks long. Now it's shark season.
There's some cliche about a dead horse or something right here. I don't know.
Yeah, they're beating the shit out of it.
Yes.
Yeah. With a shark. Watch us beat a dead horse with a shark.
If you want to see a shark consume a dead horse. Wait, was the horse dead before the shark got to it? What's a horse doing with a shark?
Horses can swim.
Not very well if a shark can get them.
Well, somebody didn't have it in one of those big metal cages.
So can we do that? Can we put scuba gear on a horse and put it down in one of those big metal cages to go shark diving? Wouldn't a horse be terrified underwater to see a shark swimming at it?
I would.
Oh my goodness, that'd be a great video. I'd watch that shit over and over again.
Yeah,
Let's
I would
put
too.
random animals in shark cages, put scuba gear on them, and submerge them, and have sharks come at them. I mean, think about pigs, dogs, your aunt that you don't like, people like that. Jam them in a cage and put them underwater. Don't tell them what's happening.
The actual band, the animals.
See, the actual band. I just assumed that the animal can understand what you're telling it, that's dumb.
Yeah, there's a real big plot hole there.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, don't tell the animal what's happening. Like, the horse is just like, what the fuck, dude?
See, you ask Richard Dreyfuss, and he'll drop it down from the orca.
Perhaps.
There you go.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Ironically, if that ship would have really been an orca, it would have beat the shit out of that shark on its own.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. Correct.
So, listener Matt Smith also had a suggestion. He said we should take up a collection for Gutenberg at Tuscola-Palooza.
There you go. Start our GoFundMe right there.
Start it for the Gutenberg Fund. That's not a scholarship fund we're hosting. That's so I can spend a day with Steve Gutenberg.
Perhaps. I got...
Or... He had another
coming.
suggestion. Why don't we try to set up Gutenberg for next year's Tuscola-Palooza to be with me the day of Tuscola-Palooza?
Wow, that would be great.
Have Gutenberg appear at Tuscola-Palooza.
That would be pretty great.
Look at this. I organically went into a plug for Tuscola-Palooza.
You did.
Shit, nothing ever happens organically with me.
The Thumbs Music Festival this year bringing in Detroit Rock City, premier Kiss cover band.
And they're Kiss how you want
Kiss
to remember
tribute
them.
band. Yeah,
they're not old Kiss. This is young rockin' Kiss.
Yeah. And a bunch of other great local bands.
Yeah,
Infamous
lots
Quick,
of
the
great-
99.
It's going to be a
Sugar Punk
full
Fairies.
day of wonderfulness. We'll be there.
Yeah.
We're apparently sponsors.
We'll be the dark spot. The dark
We'll probably
clouds that
need
roll in.
sponsors after that, but
Yeah, we need sponsors now.
for lots of reasons,
Yeah, not
both
just-
financially and mentally.
Yes. So I'll go on to my next People Suck story. This one's good. You'll like it. So on the way back,
That last one I give 2 out of 4 stars. Would not recommend.
yeah, they sucked pretty bad.
It's okay. You tried.
So on this one, we
Love you, buddy.
The
we go,
Metallica made up for it.
The Metallica did make up for it.
oh, it would be a big difference if I gave a shit what Phil thought.
Quiet Riot Mental Health.
You know, that's the same feedback I get from a lot of our listeners.
Yeah, yeah. That's why they only listen to the part. They fast forward through your parts and just.
They've
listen to me.
noticed that you can track me out now because we record on individual tracks with our new equipment. They've noticed you've just dropped me completely out of the show.
Yeah.
They said actually it's an improvement.
Huge
Even though there's
improvement.
dead air for seconds
Yeah.
on end, it's a huge improvement.
Dead air. It makes a lot more sense when I just talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've often theorized that maybe it's like a Fight Club thing where I don't actually exist. I'm just your Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your sisters feel the same way.
Yeah, they wish I didn't exist. Holy crap. There's
So-
a lot of family time this past couple weeks. It was terrible.
Well,
I love them, but they're all terrible.
well, Phil, you used to just turn the defroster on your side.
My sisters are both like
She cracked the code
both. Yeah, she both of my
with the
sisters are
Pop-Tarts.
both of my sisters are 2 of the most upstanding, wonderful people, citizens and wonderful people in the world, and I just can't help but not like them. I'm sorry. I had to grow up with them. Ugh, gross.
Oh,
I love you, Penny and Allison. I'm sorry.
Worse than that, they had to grow up with you.
It's true.
that was a good one.
Although I am inspiring my nephew to want to go into do broadcasting and have a podcast. And I said, well, if you don't ever want to get laid and be broke, you can have a podcast.
Yeah. Make your money first, then go into podcasting.
Yeah. Don't do it the opposite way. Don't think you're going to get rich or get laid from podcasting, because trust me,
Yeah.
ugh,
Both are deserts.
I'm bankrupt on both accounts at this point.
You might get a cum dumpster every once in a while.
Cum dumpster. I don't think that phrase has ever been uttered on this show. What? It took till episode 74 for somebody to say cum dumpster.
Yeah.
What a great term. That's a term when you have a band and you're
Yeah.
like one of the roadies. You're like, I just need to find a cum dumpster.
That is true.
Why did I flash into a British accent when I did that?
Well, all bands are British.
And all
Deep down.
roadies are British, right?
Well,
Isn't
the
every
limey
roadie British?
cocksuckers.
What?
Them limey cocksuckers.
Limey bastards.
Yeah.
Singing songs about macaroni and
Macaroni, them
making fun of
fuckers.
us. And yeah, we bailed your ass out in World War II, you bitches.
Bastards.
So I'm going to give the opposite of a plug here.
Okay, go on. I derailed your story for by my
Sorry,
accounts
Adam.
about 5 or 6 minutes. I've derailed your story.
That's all right. It's quality content.
You know I was doing that on purpose.
I know. And not on purpose, all at the same time. That's why it was double.
I never have purpose. Actually, that's one of the big complaints my sisters say, that I never have purpose. They're like, you
Doing it again.
you exist for weird reasons. They're like, you don't really serve a purpose. Like, you're just here.
You're like, damn it. You're
They're
right.
like, you're like, you know, there's other people that could benefit from the resources and oxygen that you use to live. And I'm like, wow, you're cutting deep.
That's a deep cut.
My
So-
sister happens to be a doctor, so she tells me exactly what's wrong with me.
Well, both your sisters are,
They both have PhDs, yes.
Yes.
And I only have a master's degree, so I'm the black sheep of the family.
yeah, you failure.
What a failure. And I see it in my mom's eyes all the time.
Well, especially when she listens to episode 2. Drink.
Drink.
Boy.
Yep. So,
We had a conversation about that, which I'll tell the story about later. Because right now, Adam, without further ado, tell us your second, what is it, gear grind, or a friend is a dick and here's why?
this is another gear grind.
Another gear
I
grind?
came off a vacation, so I didn't have a lot of contact
See,
with
you
friends.
ended your vacation with a lot of gears ground.
Yeah, but
like,
it was
is that
still
really a
great,
vacation, or was it
was
good?
still a great vacation.
It gets the juices flowing.
So-
Like when I went up north, I just saw a lot of people that should have probably been in an asylum or at least in the Special Olympics.
Yes. Yeah. High medalists at the Special
Yes,
Olympics.
yes.
So, if you're ever at the Quality Inn in Clare,
Go on.
please step into the entryway. Like, not fully into the lobby, but please step in the entryway and and defecate on the floor or piss on the floor or something like that, because I'm not real happy with those people.
This was the Quality Inn. Now, we had a great event, though, at the Hamptons Inn. Not the
Yes.
actual Hamptons.
Which is still a choice hotel.
Yes.
But, so I go there, and they're booked up pretty bad, and there's people partying out in the parking lot. No big deal to me. You know, I don't care.
Things got a little
Carry
messy.
on. They were. So then we go in, and I'm like, Mary and I are like, all right, we're going to go down to the pool, hang out, and the boys are like, we'll be down in a few minutes. So we go down there, and, you know, it's evening time, so it's starting to get kind of cold out. There's some crazy old man that's going around opening up all the windows, and there was like a window every inch in this place. He's opening them all up, and so you're getting a cold breeze through the whole thing.
I don't think that's structurally sound.
No, I don't think so either. So then he opens both doors, so it's this huge cross breeze, and we're like sitting there freezing our asses off. And Mary's like, I would get in the hot tub if that wasn't already like 6 people over capacity, because there was 7 adults and 5 toddlers in there.
That's a nasty bucket of chicken.
And I'm thinking, yeah, I can just imagine the amount of urine in that right now.
Oh,
It would have been horrendous. So then there's a bunch of kids playing in the pool with footballs, and then they brought out those squirt guns that like you pull to fill with water, like a giant syringe.
Right.
And they're playing with those. We're getting sprayed left and right. We're huddling like over in the corner of the
just cowering.
the pool. We're just cowering to the kids. And I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Do you vacation at all the places where terrible 80s films were made?
Probably.
Yeah.
This was like a terrible
This sounds
80s
like,
film.
yeah, this sounds like a National Lampoon's B movie from the 80s.
Yeah, and some of the people that were in there, I think when they got out, they would leave a ring. You know, this might have been their bath. You know,
I feel
come
like I
on,
could do that right now.
Come on, let's go down to their hotel and get our bath.
When you like, I love working here, but when you cook in that kitchen all day, you come out feeling a little greasy. Not gonna lie.
I think they call it the Phil effect.
The Phil effect.
The Phil effect.
The Phil effect.
Anyways,
So
go on.
I'll speed this up.
No, you're
we
fine.
Go back
Take
to
your
our
time.
room.
Take your time.
We go back to our room.
The quality. So one of the big qualities you need for storytelling is to take your time, let your words paint a picture, and tell us all how exactly you felt at the time, as well as the other protagonist in the story.
This will be 7 hours long if I paint the proper picture.
Okay, go on then.
So, anyways, we go back to our room, and there's a whole bunch of kids around there too. I think from like the same people, and they're just running all up and down the hallways. It's constant banging in our room. I'm like, we're not going to rest here. I'm like, the hell with this. I said, those kids are all hopped up on worse stuff than their parents are.
Speaking of constant banging, we have something to talk about at the end of this story.
Okay. So then so I go down to the front desk, and I'm like, I said, I see you have cameras in the pool area. Do you not watch them? And we've been really busy up front. I'm like, that's great, but you're not watching them at all. I said, because I literally, one of those long squirt gun things, a kid whacked me in the face with one, trying to get away from another kid, and I grabbed it and I just kind of threw it on him, and I'm like, if you hit me with that again, there's going to be trouble.
You should have Bo Jacksoned it first. Break it in half and then threw it.
I should have.
Yeah.
I should have whipped it at his dad. I should have pistol whipped his dad
dick.
with the squirt
Yeah.
gun. And so we get out, and we go back, and I go up to the front desk, and I'm like, look, I don't want to stay here. Give me my money back. Well, I have to go to your room and see if you opened anything. And as we're walking back to the room, I'm like, you are seriously going to, like, see if I stole any of the soaps or anything when you should pay me for the hell I went through here because you're not paying any attention? So she comes to our room, she's like, and she hears all the banging and stuff. She's like, I'll just refund your card. I won't charge your card. I'm like, okay. So we pack our shit up, and we're going out. We're dropping the keys off at the front desk. There's literally a guy that was there that checked in while I was waiting for them to come out. He comes back downstairs carrying all of his shit.
Yeah.
And he was packed up like he was going to Everest, right? Like 3 backpacks, a suitcase. I don't know what the hell all he was carrying.
Just remember that everybody on Mount Everest was once a highly motivated person.
Yes. And you see what happens to them. So he comes down, and I say to her as he's coming down the stairs, I'm like, well, you put him in a room that's already got somebody in it. She's like, well, how do you know that? I'm like, because he's carrying all his stuff down. So why don't you just give him our room, and he can put up with that. Literally what they did. But they tried to do it without, like, taking my card off. And I'm like, no. Because if he steals all the pillows and bedding, I'm paying for that. So make sure my card is all off and refunded. So she gives me a slip that says that they charged me nothing. I'm all off of everything. My card still hasn't been refunded.
Bitches.
So I call them today, and they're like, "Oh, well, that can take 5 to 10 days." I'm like, "In what world?" You know, I worked in banking 10 years ago in IT, and everything is instant. So as fast as you put the money on that card, it can come back off of there. And so they assured me it should be back on by tomorrow. If not, I'll be calling them and raising holy hell. But yeah, they really just screwed the pooch on that. Then a lady comes in and she goes, "I'm down at the far end of the building, and there's a bunch of people outside, like, lighting off fireworks and partying." And the lady literally has the audacity to tell her, "Well, that's somebody that works here." So they're not going to do anything about it, because that's somebody that works here. Oh. Yeah. So if you're ever at the Quality Inn...
In what, Traverse City?
No, Claire.
In Claire? Fuck that place.
Yeah.
The whole city.
So I just drove home.
Eat a dick.
I just drove home. I'm like, no, we'll just drive home. I'm not going through this shit again.
So your recommendation is to definitely shit on the floor.
Yeah. They won't notice.
The unshittable trash can.
Piss on the bed.
Part two. So, yeah.
You got to piss on the bed.
My goodness, look at that.
Hey,
in a sidecar of sauce, even.
Whoa.
Good job, Callie.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. However, there is a problem.
I'll point that out later.
It's a goose?
Well, there should be 6.
He ordered 6, he got 5.
Oh.
He did get extra sauce, though.
Yeah. Maybe there's one buried in that sauce.
As Adam approaches the wings, his club selection has already been made.
Yeah,
Looks like he's choosing a 3-iron for this approach.
Yep, I'm down 1 wing, down 1 stroke.
It's a tragedy.
I'm in the rough.
It's a real Cinderella story. So your vacation, but you had a good time. You said.
Did. We went up. We went up Friday. We went. Our first hotel that we stayed at was wonderful. We ate at a Buffalo Wild Wings where we were literally served like.
I hate you so much right now.
I got the tots.
I hate you so much right now. I hate you so much right now.
And I thought about you as I ate them.
With friends like you, who needs enemies?
Yeah, I'm a dick, and here's why. I didn't bring.
Adam's a dick, and here's why. He went to Buffalo Wild Wings. So you know who's a dick? No, not you.
Oh.
My ex-wife and her boyfriend.
Oh.
Because they always take my kids to Buffalo Wild Wings because that happens to be his favorite restaurant. So whenever I'm out with those little bastards, they never want to go to fucking Buffalo Wild Wings. We eat there all the time. I'm like, fuck, man.
So
I'm not going to go sit at fucking Buffalo Wild Wings all by my fucking self.
Did she just
God damn it.
Did she just hook up with another Phil with a smaller dick?
No, she hooked up with a healthier version of me. Let's just put it that way. I mean... So what does he do?
Physically?
Oh, he graduated with an engineering degree from Saginaw Valley. No shit.
Huh.
When? Oh, like 2 years ago. Oh.
What is he, like?
He's like 45 years old or 46. 45. He's a fucking asshole.
He sounds like a dumbass.
If I could kill somebody with my mind, it would be him.
Huh. Can you?
I'm trying. I'm working on it.
Well, I was going to say, if you can and he's still alive, I mean, how would you ever get caught?
I have all this spare time.
That's the perfect freaking crime.
It is, killing somebody with your mind.
Uh-huh. That's beautiful.
I do believe in karma. She's not just a stripper at the VU.
Not somebody with daddy issues.
That's right. Oh, God bless women with daddy issues.
Yeah.
My God, I probably would only have gotten laid half of the times that I have if it weren't for daddy issues, let me tell you.
I think, I'll be honest, being up north, I think there was a lot of people walking around with daddy issues
up there. We were in the UP for a couple days, and I had my kids, and that's an aphrodisiac for these single women that have kids.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you see a guy with his kids, and there's no woman around?
Oh, he's desperate.
Is there a missus? I'm like, hell no. I served 10 years of marriage. I ain't interested in that shit again.
Hit and run.
Yeah, I'd do a hit and run. You might have to work on your bumper after that a little bit, but you'll be all right.
Little hump and dump, you know?
Right.
It'll buff out. It'll buff out.
As Cookie would affectionately say, a cum dumpster.
Yes. It'll buff out. That'll buff out.
It'll buff out.
Wipe right off.
Trust me, I know what I'm working with. I'm not going to damage anything. It's going to be in at least the same shape, if not better, after I'm done.
Hey, that shit's water soluble. It'll wipe right off.
Oh, boy. So how about you? How was your week?
Holy fuck. Where to begin? I didn't even know what to say. It was a week. It was wonderful. I got to spend the entire week with my kids, whom, obviously, besides doing terrible podcasts and fishing, they mean more to me than all that shit. But, God, they're fucking needy. Holy shit.
Well,
they never tell you before you have kids how needy those fuckers are going to be. They want shit all of the time. Can I have this? Can I do that? Can I wake up? Should I be breathing? What the fuck? Figure it out on your own.
just tell them about how great of a hiding spot the refrigerator is.
That's right. Just there's a refrigerator in the garage. It's not plugged in. You'll be fine. Just go hang out inside of it for a little
It
while.
locks from the outside.
No, I love my kids. I'm not. We had a great week. We went up to the UP. It was one of those trips where everything was just timed perfectly. We went up to St. Ignace the first night and spent the night at a hotel I always stay at there because I love the place. It's called the Driftwood, and that's not a sexual innuendo. It's a great little place, and took them around St. Ignace, did all the touristy shit, took them down to the beach, showed them where Mackinac Island is, and then they said, "Dad, can we go to Mackinac Island?" I said, "I don't know. Maybe why don't you have your mom and her boyfriend take you?" But anyway, did the scenic lookouts, and then the next day we went up to the Sulaks because I took them there in the winter a couple of years ago and said we're going to come back in the summer. You'll see how they operate. We took a little getaway in the winter up there, and we went right up the platform, and there was not many people on it, and lo and behold, a big freighter was coming in, 1,000-footer into the big lock. Nice. And
nice.
So we got to watch that, and they were just enamored with it. And of course, the whole platform fills up, and we had a spot right on the rail, and they loved it. And the little ships. My daughter loved waving at everybody in the little lock tours boats, and a bunch of those came through. But my daughter said something profound to me. She said, "This is quite neat. This is an engineering marvel." I said, "Yes, it is." And to be honest with you, this is probably the reason I became an engineer, which is a terrible decision. But I said because when my grandfather brought me to the locks when I was about your age, it really got me interested in all the things for engineering. He says, "I want to become an engineer," and I'm like, "Go for it, man. As a woman in engineering, you'll do just great." Then my boy's like, "I don't think I want to be an engineer." I'm like, "That's the right choice for you, buddy. You're a white male. Go do something different." So that was kind of neat. And then we had a good trip. We went to, there's an island up there called Sugar Island we visited last time we were up there with the kids, and they thought it was neat because you got to ride a ferry over to it. It only takes, it's like a 5-minute ferry ride. And so we went over to that island because there's a bar so last time I was, my girlfriend at the time, she did the bar tour in the UP because there's a book that talks about a lot of the bars in the UP, and there was one on Sugar Island she didn't get to visit because they were closed when she went there. It's called Hilltop Bar. So we went over to Sugar Island, went to that bar, and took the kids last time, and they loved it because they got to shoot pool and have pops. So we did the same thing again, and they thoroughly enjoyed themselves. They're a lot better at pool still, but they're still terrible. Jeez, they got a long ways to go. You'd think they're almost 14 and almost 11, they'd be like pool pros by now almost.
Does it turn into one of those things where they just grab the balls and throw them?
No. They legit. They know all the rules. The first one is keep the stick tip off the table, and they got better. This time, I only think I consumed a beer and a half while they shot a complete game. Last time it was like 4 beers because I'm just like, God damn, you fuckers are slow. Jeez. So it's fun.
When were you up in the UP?
So we were in the UP. We left on Wednesday morning and we got back late Thursday night because I had commitments for Friday. I was on the morning, the ferry report with Phil. Or Fridays with Phil, with Eddie on Friday, so I wanted to get back for that. I didn't want to spend a ton of time up there anyway because it's just... Yeah. I mean, if we would have spent another night, maybe we went up to maybe Munising or maybe Marquette or something like that. Next time we will. This trip was cut short due to family, my family being assholes. Yeah. So, because my sister scheduled family pictures for Tuesday night. Boy, what a fucking trip that is. My kids, goddamn, they did great. They love that shit. They're rock stars. Like, smile, okay. They know the quicker you get that shit done, you'll get out of there. But my nephews, they're fucking assholes. Crying about shit and fucking, I don't feel very good. None of us feel very good. It's fucking life. Jesus Christ. Pose for the picture and smile.
Yeah, you're getting older. Pictures are fake anyways. You
I
gotta
don't
act
give
like
a
you like
fuck.
all those
You're
people.
acting like the most immature 8-year-old I've ever seen right now. You're acting like a fucking 6-year-old. Come on, man.
Oh, man, that cuts deep.
Jesus.
So, Cookie,
I don't feel very good. None of us do. Fuck. I don't want to be here. Buddy, that's fucking life. You spend 90% of the time not being places you want to be.
that is true. Well, I don't.
Or
but-
doing things. I don't want to pay bills. I want to be here right now, but most of the time, I don't want to be an asshole, but I'm just an asshole. It's what it is. It's my lot in life.
Yeah. It's the hand you were dealt.
Yeah, so I just run with it. Make it work for you. Life's a garden. Dig it. Make it work.
So, Cookie, have you had any
Yeah, you haven't talked much,
horrific
Cookie.
travels
Yeah.
in the last little bit? Where
Nope.
people just shit on you?
No travels. I have a gear grinder.
Go ahead.
Well, hit it.
Tell us more.
All right. So, I'm looking at Facebook the other day.
Oh, boy. That's a rabbit hole.
80% of all gear grinds start with that exact
Yeah.
phrase.
I believe his name is, Richard Zuckerberg? Anyways, what happened is there was a picture.
I never heard of him.
I believe there was a picture. Well, I know.
Is he one of your friends?
No, not at all. There was a dog that had been stabbed. Tuscola County Humane Society. Stabbed numerous times in the hips and everything. Or speared. So I simply said, that's terrible. There's no excuse for this. I hope you die a painful, slow death. You have my name if you have any questions. That motherfucker slapped me quicker than rain, got me out there for 3 days. That's why he's Dick Zuckerberg.
So, for pointing out that somebody sucks because they do, you got slammed in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
Now, are there conjugal visits in Facebook jail?
No, there isn't.
Are there cum dumpsters in Facebook jail?
You can see them, you can't comment on them.
I wonder if I just type in as my, I love how Facebook says, what's on your mind. Can I just type in the phrase cum dumpster and post it?
That'd be fine.
Okay. I won't get slapped with jail for that one because it's not disparaging toward anyone else.
Don't say anything about
But now, if I were to
killing
say
somebody
your
or something
mom
like
is a cum dumpster, that's
That-
not out of line either.
that. That'll go.
If I say that Mark Zuckerberg's a cum dumpster, that'll be fine.
No, that'll go, yeah.
So I just can't threaten somebody's life.
Don't say, I'd like to
Exactly.
kill a cum dumpster.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you'll be in trouble for that.
I'm gonna go all Grand Theft Auto on this bitch. I'm gonna do the cum dumpster thing, then shoot her and get my money back.
Hell yeah.
Well, that just fried my ass.
One thing I did see over the weekend, too, was a lot of people thinking that they are living Grand Theft Auto, like the way they drive and shit.
Oh yeah. People are out of their fucking minds right now. Sure, we got put in timeout for a year, but people still don't know how to act. People didn't know how to act before.
So,
It's ridiculous. But life boils down to one thing: just be a good fucking human being. We don't need religion. You don't need fucking cops. You don't need just be a good fucking person, man.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
not
it
difficult.
boils down to.
Yeah.
well, it's difficult to fill.
To be fair, no, I'm fine. I've never hurt anyone intentionally. So here's the thing that I had to realize in life, because really for my own mental stability, health, and life-wise and outlook, I've come a long ways in the last 5 to 10 years. I've spent a lot of time working on myself. But no matter what you do in life, you're always going to be the bad guy. Oh, shit.
Holy
Totally
cow.
redeem yourself.
All the bad things Phil said about you, I take back.
Thank you, Callie. We love you. That's awesome. She brought over his wing. She
Right.
just found it randomly.
I
Well,
told you, Phil, she can count.
Yes.
Well,
Now, I don't know if it's burned or not or anything like. It's been in the fryer for like 80 minutes.
are
but
you sure? I think it was on the floor.
Oh, shit, that's the
Holy cow.
best looking one yet.
It is.
I think that was on the floor.
Anyway,
She just found
I'm
it.
all right with that.
So my point is,
that doesn't really bother
my
me.
point is, no matter what you do in life, you're always going to be the bad guy in somebody's story. No matter what you do, there's
I'm the
somebody
bad
out
guy
there
in
in life.
most of
There's
my
somebody out there in
stories.
life that no matter how good you are, how great you are to people, what you do, you try to do everything the right way. You're always going to be the bad guy in someone's story.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be a dickhead.
Yeah. So I've accepted that. So since I've accepted that, now I try to be the bad guy in everybody's story.
I'm pretty sure that if you were to
Or a
ask,
smart ass.
That's right. Fuck it. If I'm not going to be perfect, I might as well go the opposite direction.
Fucking A.
I'm pretty sure that if you ask the people at Quality Inn and Claire,
Yeah.
they're going to be like, this asshole wanted us to
Adam
suppress
Perkins
all
is
these
an
kids.
asshole.
He wanted us to suppress
Here's his
all
credit
these
card
kids.
number if you want it.
And then now everybody that comes in shits in our entryway because of him. So I'm sure I'm the
But the
dick.
joke's on him. We still have his credit card on file, and we charge him for a new rug every time.
What they don't
What's
know.
this reoccurring charge of $79.99 every 2 months?
No, what they don't know is you told the master shitter about this,
Oh, yeah.
and he could go up there.
Dude,
and
I've
drop
got
a
nothing
fucking
going
juice
on
that
until
fucker.
I'm off for the next foreseeable future because I'm unemployed. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna drive to Claire tomorrow just to shit on that rug.
I hope you do.
And
I hope you do.
For you, I will video it.
I don't need that.
Well, it's not gonna be like turd cam or something. It's just gonna show me with a sweaty brow, you know, squatting over their rug. I'm like, "That's for you, Adam."
A sweaty brow and an empty Taco Bell bag.
Because those are the good ones. Those are the ones you want to leave on the Comfort Inn's rug.
Yeah, I was highly disappointed. Most of the vehicles, ironically enough, most of the vehicles in that parking lot had campers attached to them.
What the fuck?
I wanted to go in. I'm like, you idiots, you're doing it wrong. Now let's go up north camping. Leave them in the parking lot and go into the hotel.
I don't know how to use this thing.
You know, I went to set that thing up and I got trapped in there for 3 hours.
Shitter's full, Clark.
Who knew a door on a pop-up had a zipper?
Too many chitlins.
Why are these people saying that? I send a snap of podcast, and they're like, you have way more fun than I do. You think this is fun? Jeez.
Well, no, seriously.
Wait till I shit on that rug. That's fun.
Do you know how shitty most people's lives are? How like little, you know.
How little joy there is in their lives. I know I tried to take family photos with my family on Tuesday night.
Well, there's people
That's the
literally
most joyless act I've ever had in my life.
literally that are. I see people in Walmart. They're like,
I love my
man.
family. Actually, it was great.
yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah,
But for the purpose of this podcast,
they know
it's
I'm
great.
just fucking with them.
Yeah. They're
My
like,
mom,
"Oh."
my mom's going to have another talk with me. By the
It's
way,
overdue. It's
she
overdue.
also says she wants to be on the podcast because she has several things that she needs to talk about and clarify. So apparently some of my stories aren't exactly accurate, according to her.
Huh.
I just have remembered them that way.
Well,
She might have a top 10 of her own.
She might. She might. This is the woman that gave birth to me. I do whatever she asked me to. I mean, that's the ultimate sacrifice. She had to fucking raise me.
She
Jesus
might
Christ.
give you hell.
She might. She's put me in F-bomb jail before, and she's
Yeah.
had some stern talks to me before.
he had 3 episodes where he couldn't say fuck at all.
and that was fucking terrible. So
The one you had enough in that one for.
whenever
everything.
whenever my mother starts off a story with, I thought I raised you better than this, but oh shit.
Well, when this was still in its infancy,
Oh shit! Oh shit! That's the drop.
I was a little slow on the draw there. So when this was all still in its infancy, and we're like, what is our podcast going to be about? We do our first one, and it's kind of like,
We
Yeah,
talked
that-
about beef jerky.
Yeah, we
I
talked
said,
a lot about-
I remember how I started to. So, all right. So, first of all, I want to talk about what's on everyone's mind right now. Why is beef jerky so expensive?
yes. And then we went into, is smoked fish just really aquatic beef jerky?
It is.
And I believe that it is.
And we progressed. We're on episode, 74? And now we're talking about putting horses in shark cages and letting them go down under and swim with the sharks.
Yes. But so as we're still trying to
We also
formulate...
talked about eating horse, too.
Yeah.
That's like Black Beauty in the
Yeah.
water, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that didn't have no sharks.
So
Wait a
as
minute,
it's
sharks.
in its infancy,
So as we're trying to figure out what this whole thing is going to be about, and we go through our first episode, it's like, wow, that was pretty good. You know, I think that it's kind of an all ages thing that we're doing here. This is great. And then we move on to episode 2,
Q, Phil had other plans.
and Phil unloads the shower story.
Episode 2, drink.
And holy shit, did that change the face of the whole direction the podcast was going?
That changed the trajectory of the whole podcast.
After episode 1, I'm like, man, I'll probably never say fuck on our podcast. And after episode 2, I'm like, fuck it.
The fuck you won't. Then I talk about shitting in trash cans in the executive conference room and getting it shut down for a week due to a biohazard.
That was way better. Your episode 2 stories, drink, kind of borderline on. I'm pretty sure there were unsavory pedophiles that have pleasured themselves to your stories.
They're just sitting there biting their lip.
Of being an adolescent in the shower.
Rubbing their hands together.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
I did like the Warrior Princess.
The Warrior Princess episode where you
Adam, you definitely
jerking off in the shower.
We did have an email. And
By the
he's
way,
sitting right here.
And we sprung it on
and you
JB.
slowly
So credit us.
fucked
So
him
there's
over.
2 things I want credit for.
JB, what's up, dude?
Adam and I get credit for holding that under our hat until JB came on the air. We didn't
For
let
like
the
3
cat out of the
weeks.
bag.
For
We didn't
like
let the
3
cat-
weeks, we had to hold on to that.
His girl he was dating at the time found him jerking off in the shower because she was able to see he was watching porn on his phone because he left his watch beside the bed. And then she sent a screen grab of what he was watching.
Yeah. We kept that a secret because it should be.
It wasn't guy on guy.
No.
Hey, well, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Although some people might like that. Callie, do you like guy on guy porn? No?
Please.
Anyway, and also for me not
You did not
spilling
elaborate. What the hell?
and also on me for not spilling the beans about Eddie's 50th birthday party because everybody thought I would be the one to let the cat out of the
Did
bag.
anyone do it?
No one did. It was a surprise to them. They thought Phil talks a lot. He's gonna let the cat out of the bag and tell Eddie they're having a surprise birthday. And I hinted. If you listen to the radio shows, like I hinted to it, I alluded to it. He just never picked up the cue.
Well, no. Eddie's not going to do that.
Yeah. Eddie never listens to me. Have you ever noticed when you broadcast with Eddie, he actually doesn't listen to you? Like, you'll say something and have a great point and elaborate on it, and then like 10 seconds later, he'll say the exact same thing you just said. You're like, I already said that.
Well, or you'll be like,
Love you, Eddie.
or you'll be like, hey, Eddie,
Eddie doesn't listen to the show.
I went to the bathroom and gave birth to a cat through my penis. All right, we're going to go over to John McMurray and the weather.
Let's check out Weather Central with John McMurray.
Let's check out J-Mac.
What's the weather? What's the weather doing over there, John McMurray? Your forecast for the day. From the WTGV 97.7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist John McMurray.
You got that down pretty well.
Yeah.
John McMurray.
John McMurray.
Yes.
Do you guys listen to
Your
Swap Shop?
forecast. Fuck no. Yes, I want to. I'm going to. I'm going to listen to Swap Shop tomorrow.
Now,
I'm boycotting the show ever since believe it or not, they told me I can't host it. Because they wanted me to host. They kept asking me to host. And then all of a sudden, the edict came down from the big boss. Probably not a good idea to have Phil host Swap Shop.
Eddie's bad enough on there.
Yeah.
whoa.
And they got the reins pretty tight on him.
Yeah.
If you were on there, it'd be like, what the fuck are you selling that for, asshole?
You piece of shit. What are you fucking calling me for? Just do us all a favor and go end your life. If you're that hard up, if you're that hard up for $25, I'll send it to you. You can keep your fucking pile of manure.
quick figuring.
I've been making the nicest snowmen out of old ivory snow bottles.
I make doilies to cover your wine bottles to make them look presentable. I'm like, bitch, when I open a wine bottle, it's going to be gone in an hour. I don't need no doily to make it look better.
Somebody called in on Saturday morning, the last call.
Yeah?
I was screwing around on Facebook. When I had it, Zuckerberg.
You'll be back.
Yes. Anyways, he said, I have. Either he was looking for urine samples that were clean, And
I'm looking for somebody to drop clean for me because I have a problem, but I will pay you money.
And
for your pee.
STD, or
he wants the pee
he
with
was
an
looking
STD?
to buy them, and Eddie says,
No, wait.
That's illegal.
He's looking to buy pee that's from someone with an STD or someone who's STD free.
Or no, he was looking to buy pee
This drug free, I get that
or
part.
STD. He had them both on there.
Okay.
Or he was looking to sell them for himself. I was busy,
So
but
did Eddie go into robot mode? And just
Oh, yeah, he got
all right, so
pissed.
you're looking. No, well, I figured Eddie go into robot mode.
So you're
just
looking to sell us piss or buy piss. It has to be either STD free and or drug free, or it could be laced with many drugs. And your number is 404 blah 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 blah.
he said,
That's
that-
area code 810.
no, he told him, I think that's illegal. The guy said, are you a lawyer? He says, yes.
Are you a lawyer?
By the way, the authorities listen to this show. That was
So-
the end of it.
So about
He jumped his ass in.
about the best thing afforded to me by being on the radio show and on Sound Like Broadcasting for various shit is the local law enforcement do listen, and they tend to like me more, which is odd. One would think they'd like me less.
So every April Fool's Day,
Swap
I did-
Shop's just a shit show.
I didn't do it this last year, but
Pretty
me and a whole bunch of mutual friends of Eddie's would call, even before Eddie hosted it, we would call Swap Shop. And one of my favorites was one time I called up and I'm like, hi, I have an assortment of shovels, all different sizes. They're good for digging things like holes. I've dug holes up to 6 foot deep with these shovels. I'm selling them in the Tractor Supply parking lot out of my trunk, and you can come down and you can pick out your own shovel.
Various colors, various
fully
handle
functional.
styles.
Yes, very, very many styles and uses for these shovels. But then a friend of mine topped that.
Right.
And we always give out one friend's number.
Yeah, you give them. That's what I would do too. Like, I got an assortment of sleds and sauces for sale.
Yes,
sleds
I
and
remember when you
sauces.
did that years ago.
And then gave him Mad Dog's number. Yeah.
So we give one mutual friend's number
Yeah.
always now.
Yeah.
So then
What else did I did? I got Stoliker too one year. I called in and said I forget what I was selling. Oh man, it was something good. But I gave him Stoliker's number. He's like, "You asshole! I got like 5 calls."
that's whose number we give out
Yeah.
every time now.
Stalls, we love you.
So then our mutual friend Riley calls in, and he tells them, he's like, I'm also at Tractor Supply selling things out of my trunk. I have various monkeys of all kinds of sizes and strengths and training abilities. Some of these are trained to do great things. Some of them just want to rip your face off. But
Some of them are
they're
quite
all
handy.
for sale. They're all for sale.
If you're looking to paint a room at an old asylum, I have a monkey for you.
There you go.
If you need a
And
monkey
give
to
terrible
go,
tours.
if you need a monkey to go shit in a hotel entryway, I've got that monkey.
We should start a thing called like Chore Monkey, where it's actual monkeys that do all these little random things for you, like pop one in a shark cage and put them down to swim with the great whites. A monkey in a shark cage.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Ooh, I'd watch that.
It'd be stupid enough to like reach out and try and pet it,
Right.
and then boom, arm gone.
Could put a hook in it.
A hook in a monkey?
That way when the shark
We'll
hits
see you guys. Take care.
nailed
Put a hook in the monkey. We could just marionette the monkey.
There you go.
Very nice. Yeah. Greasy shark.
Oh, shit.
I just have to get. I got to get Cookie's take on something here.
Yeah, we want more Cookie. They want less Phil, more Adam, more Cookie. Trust me. I've got my finger. I'll finger anything with a pulse. I mean, I've got my finger on the pulse, and that's what they want.
So, Cookie, you've heard us talk about the other P&A podcast.
Oh yes, isn't that fantastic? That's manna from the heavens right there.
Who the fuck is that?
We have definitive proof that he wasn't God, in case you were wondering.
Carlos Ramirez, if you ever hear this podcast, we are sorry, but you have brought this upon yourself.
Oh, I bet you Carlos Ramirez is pissed.
He regrets it.
He has been called out.
So, Carlos Ramirez, if you're listening to our podcast, get a hold of us. Oh, we never gave out the email, so you can email us at pineapplenipplearsehole@gmail.com or pnapodcastexpress@gmail.com.
Carlos, if you're one of the 18 people who have listened to that episode of that podcast, please, by all means, reach out to us. We'll let you have your moment in the sun.
All right, so let's get Cookie's take on the PNA podcast. What do you think, Cookie? Are you a fan of the PNA podcast? Not the Express.
This one. Not this
the
one.
one we listened to in Lampoon. Have you listened to any of it besides on the show?
No, just what you guys have.
Okay.
In the, with the Roomba upstairs. Oh boy,
My mom vacuums every Tuesday
I'm
afternoon.
sorry we're late on this. Sounds like a bunch of
Sorry
dildos.
we took a week and a half to release this podcast.
We don't think any of you noticed, but for us, it was terrible.
It's been a terrible experience. So even though it says topical ointment, I thought you could consume it. Don't do that. Don't jam it in holes randomly. It's topical.
I thought it would taste like coconut, but it didn't. It's not tropical.
It said it was bacon flavored. It was not.
I think, and just so you know, I think my dog's allergic to cashew butter. We won't go into details, but
they said he wanted some nut butter, so I gave him cashew butter, and then he broke out in all kinds of hives and goes in counterclockwise circles. They were always clockwise before.
although he seemed to enjoy the applicator.
I think we hit the reverse button. He seemed to enjoy the applicator.
Oh boy!
With cat applicator. Meow.
Meow. Meow 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 meow.
I love that somebody has played some Led Zeppelin in the background.
Yeah,
It's never a bad time for Led Zeppelin.
no. Can't think of one. Even though I'm not a huge
It's-
Zeppelin fan,
I know, yeah.
but I don't hate listening to them.
I appreciate
agree.
that.
I'm the same with you.
Like, I
See,
don't own one of their
you know,
albums.
I'm a
but
huge Zeppelin fan. You guys all know that, though.
Yeah.
I talk about it ad nauseum. People are tired of hearing me talk about Led Zeppelin.
No, I'm not. No,
Okay, we'll
that's
talk
good.
about Led Zeppelin more.
What was the name of the album with all the weird symbols?
Zozo, that's the 4. So that had Stairway on it. It had Rock and Roll on it. That's kind of like, for them, even though they had 3 albums before that, hence the name 4, they had a lot of great music on the first 3, but that was almost like their Metallica Black album, like the album that really put them on the map.
Yeah.
Even though doesn't reflect their best work, which the same with Metallica. Like, the Black album's a masterpiece, it's beautiful, but so many albums before that were fucking great. Some of the greatest shit ever. And by the way, anything after the Black album, kind of shit.
Garage
Fuel,
Days revisited.
Fuel has some okay
Yeah, but just
shit on
okay.
it. Is it
like,
Fuel? No, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Give me fuel,
Refuel.
give me fire, give me that what you did there.
So I just think, Metallica really, that was their watershed album. So for Led Zeppelin, the Zoso, every symbol represents one of the members of the band, and vis-a-vis, that's why it is called the Zoso album, but it's actually 4 is the name of the album. And like I said, a lot of good shit on it. Actually, When the Levee Breaks and Going to California are 2 of the best songs on the album, but 2 of the least revered, I feel like. Like, structurally, When the Levee Breaks is, technically as a guitar player and a musician, you'd probably love that song, When the Levee Breaks.
I do appreciate a lot of the stuff that they
Yeah.
did on guitar.
Yeah. Pager's awesome. I mean, think about this. Jimmy Page has actually been on, last I checked, it's something like 172 different studio albums, because he was a studio guitarist before he was in Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And Robert Plant's just a madman. What a horny motherfucker. Every song's either about sex, Lord of the Rings, or citrus fruit.
I learned the intro to Stairway just so that I could get dirty looks in Guitar Center.
Mm-hmm. No stairway. Every single guitar shop you go into has a sign that says no stairway. And John
not
Bonham,
wrong.
rest his soul, died in 1980. Bonzo was usually regarded as, if you don't have him in your top 10, in the top 10 of your greatest drummers of all times, you've failed.
I watched Sammy Hagar interview Tommy Lee.
I'm not saying he's the best, but he's top 10. He should be top 10 in everybody's list.
I watched Sammy Hagar interview Tommy Lee, and he's like, "Who's your best drummer?" Without hesitation, it was John Bonham.
John Bonham, yep.
And Hagar's like, "Why is that every drummer's answer?" He says, "Have you ever listened to him?"
Right.
And he's like, "Well, yeah. I don't disagree, but
Yeah.
every drummer says." He goes, "Because that's what every drummer wants to be."
Right.
So yeah, I think probably
He
top
should.
3.
He should. Yeah. I was going to say top 5, but I didn't want to speak in too sensationalistic. Just like Neil Peart. Neil Peart from Rush should be in everybody's top 10 easily, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like mine, I was going to say Neil Peart and Bonham, Keith Moon.
Keith Moon's got to be right up there.
Lars Ulrich.
His later career, but yes. Lars, he got better a lot better technically.
If you took away a double bass pedal from Lars,
Okay,
he'd be me on drums.
Okay, so one of the other ones for me is Travis Barker, which is a lot more recent.
Travis Barker.
Yeah.
Man, the one I'm thinking of is escaping my brain right now.
Josh Freese?
No.
Have you heard Josh Freese?
No.
He's played with Nine Inch Nails. He's played with the Vandals. He's a studio drummer. Mesmerizing. The guy's a fucking beast. He's an animal. Josh Freese. Josh Freese is in my top 10, definitely.
So one of the new drummers that I'm pretty impressed with, and is the female drummer for Pop Evil.
Yeah, she is
Absolutely
good.
just powerful.
She is good. You want to talk about worst drummers of all time? Meg White.
Yes.
The White Stripes.
Well, that's one of those things where Jack White was
it's so fucked up because her style fits his guitar playing so well, or vice versa. Like he's tailored his guitar playing around her style.
You know, people talk about him being a musical genius. Being a musician, I don't see it.
He's good. He's not a genius.
No. And honestly, the stuff he did is pretty simple, but the way he put it together and everything like that is decent. But, you know, live they suck because they can't recreate what they did in the studio live.
Right.
Which is two people.
So the drummer for Clutch is pretty good too, but he's more like a rhythm jam drummer. But it's funny to watch him because he literally closes his eyes while he's playing when he gets into the groove.
Yeah.
And it's badass. Other drummers that I've noted.
VP.
What's that?
VP.
Yep. Drummer, what's his nuts from, I can't think of his name, but he played with Local H. Remember Local H?
Yeah.
He's a black dude, and he was built pretty well. He beat up a drum set unlike anybody I've ever seen at a live show. Like, he beat the fuck out of those drums, and it sounded good, you know?
Yeah.
So, Local H, very underrated. I love Bound for the Floor. What a great song.
It is. And they had...
You high-fiving motherfucker.
Yeah.
You high-fiving motherfucker. Yeah.
You guys sounded
man.
pretty good doing that.
We harmonized for a minute.
That was a good one. I haven't.
Remember that song?
Fuck
that whole
yeah,
album?
a long time
that
ago.
Local H, one of the best shows I've ever attended.
Yeah.
It's some good shit. Local H, if you're listening out there, you can be on the podcast anytime. There's Chicago Rig. They might be listening.
Yeah, bring your skins.
That's right. Beat the fuck out of them. Yeah.
Come, dumpster.
You high-five and come dumpster. We should do the remake.
You know, also a pretty solid band for just two people.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of funny because a lot of people are like, oh, well, White Stripes only had two people in it.
Right.
But that's been done a lot.
Filter did it too.
Filter, I believe, did it.
Yep.
They had more people later on.
Yeah.
And then there was, Presidents of the United States.
Pot USA, baby.
Yep.
I met that guy. He goes by the name, so he does children's albums, and his name is Casper Babypants as a children's musician. And when I was rolling with all the swanky people, when I was somebody and lived in Seattle, my ex-wife was part of a lot of the moms groups around there, and they actually had him at two of their events, like hosted him. So like I got to hang out with him for like half a day one time. He's a cool dude. He's the lead singer and guitarist. He only plays 3 strings on his guitar though.
Yeah.
Yep. And great guy, but you should check out Casper Babypants. Some of his songs are pretty like he has kind of that Seattle sound still somewhat, but he puts it to like obviously kid-friendly lyrics, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, worth a check out.
Yeah. Hey, Phil, I was going to ask you something.
Go on.
The Buffalo Preacher.
Buffalo Preacher. Yeah, that's my buddy's band. Which I got that. I got that record. We're gonna start playing. They've got shit on YouTube. I know. So Buffalo Preacher is the name of Drew De La O. He's one of my real good friends. Amazing guitarist. That's his latest band, and they're just trying to make it. They're a bunch of quality, like very top notch. You're fine, musicians, and I'm just trying to help them by promoting his music. They said they offered vinyl of their music, and I bought it right away and loved it. I've listened to that record probably 10 times already.
Really?
Front back, love it. Love it. So they're kind of a bluesy outfit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Talented musician. So, Drew, I'll give you a shout out if you're listening. Hopefully you're listening. Buffalo Preacher, come on the show. Call in. I mean, they're working their way up. I mean, they have a channel, a Pandora channel. They've recorded, considered national recording artists now, and let's try to help them out. You know,
Yeah.
help each other out here. Yeah, Buffalo Preacher, good shit.
Yes, sir.
I dig it. It's great beer drinking music.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of got that,
Yeah.
I don't know, great country beer drinking music,
Yes.
because it's not depressing country music. It's a upbeat kind of that
Yep.
hillbilly feel to it without being hillbilly music.
So here's one of the best days I ever had. One of the best days Phil ever had was with Drew, who's a member of that band, guitarist, rhythm guitarist, lead guitar. They alternate, and he sings some too. It was Super Bowl Sunday, and it was the second time the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl, but they hadn't won because they had lost to the Steelers previously. So he stays over at my house, and we wake up and like, hey, let's go get some breakfast. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. So we go to Rubatino's and get breakfast and start drinking. So we go into another bar. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning now, and we go into another bar, and he says, "Go Seahawks!" As we walk in, we get immediately kicked out of a bar at 8 o'clock in the morning. And we were buzzed, but not too bad. And now we know that bartender that kicked him out really well. So we went to another bar and just got fucking hammered, and then watched the fucking Seahawks win the Super Bowl, and it was a great day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So he always talks about us getting kicked out of a bar at 8 o'clock in the morning.
So
Love you, Drew. Spent a great day with him. That was fantastic.
when I was in college and I had my band in college, we one Saturday night we decided to have a little bit of an after party, and we planned it. So we had a keg, and it fizzled out pretty quick. So we literally started, we're all crashed in my living room.
Yeah.
And we started drinking way too early. Like, I woke up and there was already a couple guys drinking from the band. And I fell asleep in the chair down there. And so we had this full keg, and we just sat there literally all day.
Right.
Watching football games and drinking.
Those aren't like... See, that's the one thing that I did love about living on the West Coast was the fact that my buddies that own the local 907, the bar that I love those guys too. That's where I met everybody out there. The morning games start at 10 o'clock on Sunday out there. So you go and you have breakfast. They open for breakfast, and you drink mimosas and do whatever. And I came up with something that I called, so I lived in Renton, which is south of Seattle. We called it DTR, downtown Renton, DTR. I came up with the Dtr Mimosa, which is Miller High Life and orange juice. It's not bad. Don't knock it till you try it. And we would just sit there, and my friend...
Well, but now that's a big thing, like the orange beers.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
And my friend Pam would bring the Sunday paper, and because her husband at the time worked on Sundays, so she'd join me for breakfast. We'd sit there, we'd read the Sunday paper and watch the early games, and it was a great day. And then the afternoon game started, which usually the Seahawks played about 1 o'clock. And by the time they got done, it'd be 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You'd be blitzed. So you'd go home, take a short nap, and get ready for the evening game. Yeah. Those were great Sundays. I miss that. Those are probably some of the happiest times of my life. So you tend to kind of glom onto those in your memories.
You fellas care for NASCAR at all?
I used to watch NASCAR religiously, but I don't follow it anymore, and I can't pick it back up because all the rule changes, stoppages in the middle, and shit like that. That's not true. That's bullshit.
Wow.
Let those fuckers race all the way through.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never been a huge NASCAR fan, but I don't mind watching racing.
Yeah. I used to be a huge fan. Obviously, I remember the day after Dale Earnhardt died. I was in college in engineering, and we all loved racing. We were all huge racing fans. We did the mini SAE Mini Baja. We did the Formula. We had, Dale Earnhardt was on our fucking pop machine in our engineering lounge. Like, he was on the front of it, picture. That was the most somber day I remember any time in engineering that day. After it almost rivaled for us. It wasn't as bad. 9/11 was somber for everybody.
Yeah.
But the day after Dale Earnhardt passed away was somber in our engineering world for everybody. We were all upset, sad, shook. Like he was our guy. He was all of our guy, you know.
Yep.
And really, once Kevin Harvick came back and won it in Dale's car, and then Dale Earnhardt
Third
Jr.
race at Atlanta.
Yep. And then Dale Earnhardt Jr. came in. Like I was a solid NASCAR fan up until probably about 5 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, we are at like an hour and 15 minutes exactly right now.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah,
It goes quick, doesn't it, Cookie?
Oh, my God. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Well, you want to wrap this up then?
We probably should.
Any final words, Cookie? Anything you want to get out? Anything you got? Thanks for being on. We appreciate you, man.
Oh, I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah.
It's been great.
You haven't really talked much, honestly.
Well, not a lot, but I just been kind of listening. Adam's gear grinding and
Yeah, I had quite a gear grind
busting
at
it
the
out,
beginning.
and that's good. And I would recommend that from now on, if people are in the Hampton,
No, Comfort Inn.
Comfort Inn Claire.
the Comfort
Comfort
Inn
Inn
Claire, definitely shit on the carpet.
That's coming right from
Yeah.
our historian and our top 10 lister and everything, yeah.
And
So-
listen to episode 7 or Quick Trip 7. You'll never see rubbish the same way.
And you will see a need for a product that has never been illustrated better.
Oh,
Touche.
boy.
So I'm going to self-plug as we wrap this up before we bring in our
Steve Gutenberg.
Steve Gutenberg. But this is my buddy Rick and I recorded this in 2015.
Okay.
Oh, I just muted it.
Unbelievable.
Not too bad for two guys in like a basement that had never recorded anything. That was literally the first song we ever recorded totally on our own.
Very awesome.
That is awesome.
That was some pretty solid guitar. It's probably my favorite solo I've ever done on a recording.
Yes.
Good job.
I was pretty proud of that.
I'm happy I finally seem to have pulled myself out of my doldrums this episode. I don't think I
Yes.
was a Debbie Downer hardly ever.
No, and a lot less of a dick than normal. I appreciate that too.
Very good.
Nice.
Very
Yeah,
good.
good
All right,
job.
so email us at pineapplenipplearsehole@gmail.com or pnapodcastexpress@gmail.com. Steve Cook, Cookie, thanks for joining us. We love you. You have an open invite anytime you ever want to be on the show, brother. Adam, you agree with that?
Oh, most definitely.
All right.
I thank you guys.
So Steve Cook, Adam Filkins, as always, Phil Nickel, make good choices.
Don't let you meet